Point in time, you go into the tent, do your magic, and you head out of town on the run, okay? Heading out of town on the run. The first, it's about 5.5 miles out, roughly, about 6.5 miles back, because we got to go along the lake. The out portion is pretty much net downhill or mostly downhill if you look at it on the map. It is very easy to run like sub 6 minute miles. All of us out of T2. You're excited, your family's there, you're so happy to be off your bike, and you can crush it. That is quite possibly one of the worst things you can do. What we tell everyone inside Endurance Nation is your goal Ironman pace, if you're using our formula, is your long run pace, which is that pace you can sustain all day long. It's the pace you've done for your long runs, averaged over 9 weeks, okay? It's a pace you can sustain all day long if I feed you, because in an Ironman that gets hard. Your goal is to come within 15 to 20 minutes of your open marathon time, so do the math on that. The first 6 miles of your run day inside Endurance Nation, we tell you, go 30 seconds slower per mile than that pace. So if I've run a 3:30 marathon, I'm hoping to go 3:20 here. I'm sorry, no, if I run 3:30, I'm hoping to go 3:45, 3:50 here. I figure out that pace, and then I add 30 seconds to that pace for the first 6 miles. What we're trying to do is take you out of the game. Because I know if I tell you to slow down 30 seconds, you're gonna be like, that dude is crazy. Maybe I'll slow down 10. I've still won because you slowed down. Because what happens is you look at everyone's files, which we've done. We've got 650 athletes on the team. I see all the files, there's no hiding. And you see people's files. In the first 6 miles, everyone looks awesome. In the last 6 miles, everybody looks terrible, right? The pace chart just goes like this, right? Because they're fast and they're slow. That's what happens, right? We don't want that. We want even or down, okay? And so the way you solve it, the way you get close to even or negative splitting your day is by slowing down those first 6 miles. Take stock of your body, get some nutrition in, find your stride, get smart. Then all those fast people will go by, right? Why? Because everyone's already running fast out of T2. So if you and Jimmy are next to each other, and you're in the same age group, and you feel like you're competing, even though you're nowhere near mile 18 at all, and he takes off at 6 minute miles, which is probably 30 to 45 seconds faster than he should even contemplate running, and you're trying to run faster than him, you're running like 1:25 to 1:30 seconds faster than you should be running. Now, if I told you to go out and do a long run of 18 miles on any given Sunday or Thursday inside Endurance Nation, and I told you to run 6 minute miles for 6 miles, and then run your pace the rest of the day, you'd look at me like I was insane. It's bad enough that I tell you got to negative split it or do some like 2x1 mile in there, you get all mad at me. I told you to 6 miles like that, there's no way you do it, much less after 2.4 and 112 miles on the bike. Slow yourself down, get your nutrition in, find your stride. A good point is about 5.5 out there. You flip it, you start coming back into town. Now the course gets real. You got to go up all those hills, right? You got to go up the ski jump hill and you got to go up this hill into town. Both are tough hills. I tell people, you've got your pace, you're sticking to it, you're being smart. At 6 miles or 5.5, you can now have permission to dial it down to that pace. So if I was going to run 8s and now I'm running 8:30s because I'm being a good doobie, at 5.5, 6 miles, I can drop it back down to 8s. About 50% of people never drop it back down, which is fine, because they realized after 5.5 miles they didn't actually feel that good. We just saved your day right there, because you didn't cook yourself. But if you do feel good, you can pick it up. Coming back into town, running up those hills, same principle as the bike. You're feeling a good steady effort, you know what an 8 minute mile feels like? You run up a hill, run that same effort. Speed's gonna drop, 8:30, 8:45, 9, 9:15. You're just kind of jogging up that hill, steady up that hill. Get over the top, get back on your pace again. You do not need to sustain 8 minute miles up that hill. If you're trying to qualify for Kona on the last lap, yes, you can do that on the ski jump hill and this chill, but no one else should be running hard up a hill on this course. This hill here into town starts at the bottom by Lisa G's, where that road bends. That hill does not stop until you get over here, past the pub, okay? It goes up to this traffic light, you take a left, it goes up to the bike shop, it goes up to the oval, you take a right, and it goes up here to the pub, and then it finally levels out. It is a very long hill. It is a long way to put yourself in a very bad place. People look very bad there. Thankfully, spectators come in and help you out. Pick a pace you can sustain. Be very smart about that. You get your special needs here, same place as before, get your whatever you need, you run out, flip it, come back, and you gotta go left, not right to the finish, you gotta go left, back out, do it again, but you've seen it before. I told you about pacing on the hills. What we tell people is, mile 18, that's where you get permission to look up and look everyone around you. Inside Endurance Nation, that's when we tell people to start counting the folks around you as you pass them. That's your head game. That gets you mentally into it. There's Jane, I'm gonna pass her. There's Timmy, I'm gonna pass him. Gets you back in the game thinking, okay? What I want you to be doing is being proactive in those last 8 miles. The last 8 miles are hard for everybody. Whether you're doing 17 hours or you're doing 9 hours. The last 8 miles are tough, especially on this course coming back into town. Your goal is to be as steady as you can, be smart about your nutrition, have your one thing ready to go when things get really, really hard, okay? There's no secrets on this run course aside from being smart. Only tip I would give people is you can run the tangents here. The course is beautiful and it takes you by fly fishermen. And like last year, some guy actually ran over by me and took off his shoes and socks and his shirt, and he got down in the river and he sat there for 5 minutes. And he climbed back up and put his clothes back on and ran. So for 5 minutes I was sitting there and there was a pair of shoes and some socks on the side of the road. Everybody who ran by looked at me, kept going. Like the dude had spontaneously combusted and left his shoes there. You may feel like that, but you can always slow down. If you have a nutrition problem on the run, the best solution to that problem is slowing down. Slow down, take stock of the problem. Better you slow down and fix it now than ignore it and hope it gets fixed later. Just like being in your office at work. You go to photocopy something and the photocopier is out of toner. Put toner in the machine. Don't just keep coming back every 5 minutes and be like, it'll be magically fixed. It'll be magically fixed. No, someone's got to fix it, right? On race day, there's no secretary, there's no admin assistant, there's no nice office worker guy who does that for you. You have to fix that problem yourself. Best way to do it is slow it down, okay? If you have a cramp or something else, slow it down and figure out what you've been doing. Maybe even skipping aid stations. Maybe you didn't drink enough. Your body needs time to process food. The longer you go, the hotter it gets, the less likely or less able your body is to deliver nutrients out of your stomach into your muscles, and your brain starts to go kind of crazy. So be smart about it, slow down. Coeur d'Alene 2007, I went at 10:04 and got a Kona spot, number 7 in the age group. Best decision I made all race day was at mile 17 when my body got all tingly and I realized I wasn't sweating anymore. I went into Porta-John for 3 minutes. I just locked myself in there. I made myself go pee. I got out and I walked an entire aid station and drank everything and ate everything I could find. And then I ran the last 9 miles. I passed like 6 guys in my age group. Those 6 guys had made the decision not to slow down or stop somewhere. They were rolling the dice, okay? Be smart about your day. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, okay? You see people running through aid stations, it looks like a 5K, water spraying, they got half a goo in their mouth, and they're done. They're totally dying out there. They will pay for that later. Don't be that person. The last 5 or 6 miles, you're just screaming for Coke and you're trying to get it done, that's one thing, but not at the beginning of your workout. Those of you who don't know, we're Endurance Nation. Folks on the team, raise your hands. We're wearing red and white kit out there. These folks know what they're doing on the day. 650-person triathlon team across the U.S. We do all the Ironman, half Ironman races. We have 38 people racing this race this weekend. 120-person dinner tonight. Everyone is super awesome. If you see them at the top, ask them questions. They'll tell you all about it. But this is all we do. This is my job. You are an accountant. You are a lawyer. You're very good at what you do. I am a coach, and this is all I do every year, and I've seen it all. And what I've just told you right there is our super double top secret insider tips. If you didn't have a DVD, you can get a DVD. Someone hold up the DVD, they can see it. If you didn't get one of those, you can go to our website, endurancestation.us, and you can get it for free. If you have any questions about your day, I'm happy to take them now. I will stay here to answer all the questions. But before you go, Mike Folan is our nutrition sponsor, and he's helped out a lot of our athletes with his custom nutrition solutions. He's going to give you kind of a general spiel about nutrition. Definitely worthwhile listening to if you've got some thoughts or some voices in the back of your head.
Yeah, and first thing is I don't want anybody sitting in a porta potty for 3 minutes.
He can fix you before you get there.
Oh God, why did you spend 3 minutes in there?
You could have picked a tree, keep going.
Find a shady tree.
It's Coeur d'Alene.
Why would you want to sit in a crapper for 3 minutes? My name's Michael and I'm from Infinite. I do this talk with these guys pretty much all over the country. The thing I can offer you guys is not anything changing your nutrition for race day, obviously, but what I do see are the mistakes that the age groupers make. And there are a couple that 90% of the errors are like 2 or 3, and I just want to kind of share that stuff with you guys as far as what I see age groupers making mistakes. Ironman athletes, typically type A, hyper, super schedule, down the line. They all have the same mentality, which is that if one is good, then 3's got to be better. That's not the case when it comes to nutrition, okay, guys? The mistakes I see from people is not from not taking enough nutrition, it's generally from taking too much. Stick to your plan, be very cognizant of what you're doing out there. But just because it's race day doesn't necessarily mean that if I was training on 250 or 300 calories, well, that's race day, I'm going to be pounding 700 calories. It's a big mistake. Your body is essentially, you're capped at about how many calories per hour you can actually absorb. Whether it's hammer, power bar, infinite nutrition, first endurance, it really doesn't matter. You're kind of set that you can hit a certain amount of calories. If you're jamming calories in you and you can't process it, you're going to swell up like a tick, and that's not a position. Everybody looks, you get to that pregnant kind of feeling 2 hours into your run. Not a good thing. So if you guys overdo it and you do get yourself into that situation, do exactly what he said, which is generally back off your nutrition. Chicken soup, it's salty. You want salt to kind of flush everything through. Take a bunch of water. Let your system kind of do a system reset on yourself. Rest, and then continue on with your day. Don't ignore that situation, because if you start feeling bloated, what happens is your body is saying, I can't do what you're giving me. So the best thing to do is just back off for a little while, water, chicken soup, and then let everything kind of reset itself, and then go back onto your nutrition plan for the day. Okay? As far as hydration goes, I think you guys are going to have a great day. I'm not anticipating it's going to be super hot. So I think, you dodged a bullet. I'm from Ohio and it's been 98 degrees. We've managed to avoid that water. So I think you guys are going to have a great day. So just be really consistent with your nutrition. If you can, when actually on the bike ride, solid food is great. I like bananas out there. So if you're going to be doing that, just make sure that anytime you take a solid food, wash it down with water, never sports drink. If you're taking hammer gels or the power bar gels, that stuff gets washed down with water, never sports drink, okay? Because again, we're talking, if you overload your system, that's what you're gonna end up swelling up. So a lot of guys will take a gel and they'll wash it down with the power bar stuff. It's not, that stuff is formulated to be used by itself. If you're taking a gel, water. If you're eating something, water. Never sports drink and food or a gel at the same time. The power bar product they've got on the course is solid product. It's not, that product actually chemically is very good. Flavor, I'll leave it up to you guys on what you think about that. But the product itself is decent. So, don't feel bad about drinking power bar stuff out there, because actually, the product chemically is pretty good. The gels, obviously that's kind of an old standby. So those are the main things, is that don't overdo it out there, guys. Stick with your plan. If you're going to err on the side of maybe being a little bit light on your nutrition as opposed to doing way too much. Bank your calories on the bike for the run, and then just try not to throw up on yourself generally for the run. Are there any questions? Because normally I get a ton of questions on the nutrition side.
Well, how about we hang out? Mike will do nutrition stuff over here.
Yep.
And I'll go over here and talk to you
thank
about
you for the team, guys. You guys are totally awesome.
Thanks, guys. Just look out for the dog poop. Yes, hey.
I'm going to be doing the video.